Did you know your turbocharged engine is 67% more likely to fail than a regular engine? Did you know Toyota, yes, Toyota, recalled 232,000 vehicles in just 60 days? And did you know 4.3 million engines have been recalled since 2015? And nobody warned you? Everything you think you know about engine reliability is about to change. Stay watching. The dirty secret behind every new car. Here's something the dealership will never tell you when you're standing on that showroom floor, credit card in hand, ready to sign. 97% of all new cars sold in 2026 have a turbocharged engine under the hood. 97%. And it has nothing, absolutely nothing, to do with making your car better, faster, or more exciting to drive. It happened because of government fuel economy mandates. The EPA's CAFE standards forced automakers to shrink their engines down to hit fuel economy targets on paper. And then, to make up for the power they lost by going smaller, they bolted a turbocharger on top and called it innovation. Think about what that actually means. The Toyota Camry, one of the most trusted family cars ever built, used to run a naturally aspirated 2.5-liter engine. Proven over decades. Simple, bulletproof. Today, turbocharged. The Ford F-150, America's best-selling vehicle for over 40 years straight, used to have a V8. Now it runs the EcoBoost Turbo. GM's Silverado literally ripped out a proven 5.3-liter V8 and dropped in a brand new turbocharged 4-cylinder to replace it. The numbers on the window sticker look identical. Same horsepower, same fuel economy. You'd never know the difference just by looking at it. Your salesperson can't tell you the difference either because nobody trained them to know. But here's the thing. A turbocharger adds real mechanical complexity, real heat, real failure points that a naturally aspirated engine simply does not have. And some manufacturers engineered around those problems properly. Others? They cut corners, collected your warranty money, and moved on. That gap, between the manufacturers who did it right and the ones who didn't, is exactly what we're breaking down today. With real data, real recall numbers, real consequences. How a turbo actually works and how it dies. Before we get to the list, you need to understand one thing. Because once you understand this, everything else makes perfect sense. A turbocharger works by capturing the exhaust gases your engine is already producing and using them to spin a turbine. That turbine spins at up to 300,000 revolutions per minute. That's not a typo. And forces compressed air into the engine. More air means more combustion, more power out of a smaller engine. Sounds brilliant, right? And it can be. But there's one critical weakness. The only thing keeping that turbine from destroying itself at 300,000 revolutions per minute is your engine oil. That's it. One fluid, one line of defense. And that creates three very specific, very real ways this whole system can collapse on you. Failure. Point 1. Heat damage. That turbine operates at temperatures up to 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit. When you drive hard and then just park and shut the engine off immediately, the oil pump stops. But the turbo is still sitting there, scorching hot, with oil baking inside the bearing housing. Those baked oil deposits build up every single time you do that. Slowly, quietly, until one day the oil flow gets restricted and the turbo starts failing from the inside out. And you don't even know it's happening. Failure point 2. Oil starvation. The turbo bearing needs a constant supply of clean, fresh oil. Old oil, degraded oil, oil that's even slightly low. Any of those conditions mean that bearing is running without proper lubrication. Turbo rebuild specialists will tell you this is the single biggest cause of turbo failure. Not age, not mileage, oil. That's it. One missed oil change at the wrong time can start a chain reaction that costs you $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. Failure point 3. Carbon buildup. Modern turbocharged engines almost universally use direct fuel injection, meaning fuel gets sprayed directly into the cylinder and completely bypasses the intake valves. In older engines, fuel washing over those valves kept them clean. Now, carbon deposits build up on the back of the valves over time. You get restricted airflow, misfires, rough idle, and eventually a cleaning procedure. Some shops call it a walnut blast, that some owners are dealing with as early as 60,000 miles. 3 failure points. All of them preventable, if the manufacturer engineered the engine properly. Not all of them did. Let's talk about the ones that didn't. The 5 turbo engines to avoid in 2026. Number 5. The GM 2.7-liter TurboMax. This is the engine General Motors chose to replace their legendary, proven, beloved 5.3-liter V8 in the Silverado and Sierra. Let that sink in for a second. Owners are reporting, and NHTSA complaint data specifically documents, excessive oil consumption at a rate of 1 quart of oil every 1,000 miles. 1 quart every 1,000 miles. That is not a quirk. That is not a break-in period. That is your turbo bearing running dangerously low on the one thing it cannot survive without. Consumer Reports flags this engine as below average reliability. And here's what makes it even more concerning. This engine has only been in production trucks for 3 years. There isn't enough long-term real-world data to know how it holds up at 150,000 or 200,000 miles. And when you don't have data on an engine, that uncertainty is itself a red flag. If you want a Silverado or Sierra, spend the extra money and get the proven 5.3-liter V8. Don't gamble your hard-earned money on an unproven engine in a truck that's going to see real work. Number 4. The Hyundai and Kia 1.6-liter Gamma Turbo. This engine appears across a wide range of Hyundai and Kia models from the 2013 through 2019 model years. NHTSA issued recalls for piston ring failures causing excessive oil consumption and, in the worst cases, complete engine seizure. A class action lawsuit was filed, and the failure pattern in the most serious documented cases didn't just leave owners stranded. It created a fire risk. Oil enters the combustion chamber, builds up on the exhaust system, and under the right conditions, it ignites. If you are shopping for a used Hyundai or Kia from this era, any model, any trim, you need to run that VIN through the NHTSA recall database before you hand anyone a single dollar. The link is in the description. Do not skip that step. This is not a minor inconvenience. This is a safety issue. Number 3. The Volkswagen and Audi EA888 2.0-liter turbo. This engine is in virtually every Volkswagen and Audi sold in the United States. The Jetta, the Tiggan, the Golf, the Audi A4, the Audi Q5, all of them running the same basic architecture. The documented problems include timing chain failures, high-pressure fuel pump failures, and carbon buildup severe enough that some owners are paying for a full intake valve cleaning, that walnut blast procedure we talked about, as early as 60,000 miles. A class action lawsuit was filed specifically targeting the timing chain issue in the 2.0 TFSI variant, and Consumer Reports rates Volkswagen's powertrain reliability at 2 out of 5 stars. Not 2 out of 10, 2 out of 5. That is one of the worst powertrain reliability scores in the entire automotive industry. Now, if one of these has been meticulously maintained, oil changes done on schedule, low mileage, clean documented service history, it can hold up. But the moment there is any gap in that service history, you are buying someone else's problem. And in the used car market, gaps in service history are everywhere. Number 2. The Ford 1.5-liter EcoBoost 3-cylinder. This engine is in the Ford Escape, the Ford Fusion, and the Ford Bronco Sport, and it has a documented specific serious defect. Engine coolant gets into the cylinders. What that means in practice, coolant enters the combustion chamber. The engine can hydrolock and stall, including at highway speed. In the most serious documented cases, this failure created a fire risk. Class action lawsuits were filed against Ford. The 2015 through 2018 model years are the most heavily affected. If someone is trying to sell you a used Escape, Fusion, or Bronco Sport with this engine, you need to know exactly what you're dealing with before you sign anything. This isn't a check engine light situation. This is an engine that can fail while you're doing 70 miles per hour on the interstate. Number 1. Toyota's 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6. I know exactly what you're thinking right now. Toyota, the brand your parents told you to always buy. The company that built its entire global reputation on reliability. The safe choice, the boring choice, the right choice. And I want to be completely clear. I am not saying Toyota as a company is unreliable. I am telling you specifically about this one engine. In November 2024, Toyota recalled 105,000 vehicles for low oil pressure warnings. 1 month later, December 2024, Toyota issued a second recall. This one covering 127,000 Tundras and Lexus LX SUVs for crankshaft bearing failure risk. Two separate recalls, 232,000 vehicles, in 60 days. And NHTSA currently has over 3,000 engine complaints on file for this specific engine family. The Toyota badge does not protect you from this engine. The data is the data, and the data says stay away. If you're finding this information helpful, take 1 second to hit that like button and subscribe to help us reach 100,000 subscribers. Appreciate your support. The two turbo engines that actually earned it. All right, that was the bad news. Now here's the good news, and there genuinely is good news. Two turbocharged engines have built a real, data-backed reliability reputation, and they're worth knowing about. Winner number 1, the BMW B58 3.0-liter inline-six turbo. This engine is in the BMW 3 Series, 5 Series, X3, and X5. And here's a fact that surprises a lot of people. It's also the engine sitting under the hood of the Toyota GR Supra. BMW makes it, not Toyota. Virtually zero significant recalls. Virtually no NHTSA complaints. Consumer Reports consistently ranks the B58 as one of the most reliable modern turbocharged engines available. Independent owner surveys back that up across multiple years and high mileage use. The honest caveat, it lives in BMWs, which means servicing costs more than a Honda or a Toyota. Parts cost more, labor costs more. That's just the reality of the brand. But the engine itself, the engineering, the reliability track record, is genuinely proven at scale. If you can handle BMW ownership costs, the B58 is one of the safest turbocharged engines you can buy. Full stop. Winner number 2, Honda's 1.5-liter VTEC Turbo. This is the engine in the Civic, the CR-V, and the HR-V, and you can get one for under $28,000. Consumer Reports rates Honda above average for reliability, and this engine is a significant reason why. It's been in production long enough to have real-world data at high mileage, and that data holds up. There is one known issue worth being upfront about. In cold climates, Canada, the northern US, some 2016 through 2018 Civic and CR-V owners reported gasoline mixing into the engine oil under specific short-trip, cold-weather driving conditions. Honda addressed it with software updates and technical service bulletins. On 2019 and newer models, it's largely a non-issue. If you're in Texas, Florida, Arizona, or California, honestly, don't even worry about it. If you're somewhere cold, buy 2019 or newer and you're covered. For the money, for the reliability data, for long-term ownership cost, Honda's 1.5-liter turbo in a 2019 or newer model is the best value turbocharged engine available in an affordable car right now. It's not even close. How to protect any turbo engine you already own. Maybe you already own one of the engines on the avoid list. Maybe you're keeping it. That's okay. Here's what you need to do. First, never skip an oil change. With a turbocharged engine, this is not optional. The turbo bearing lives and dies by oil quality. Use the manufacturer's specified oil grade. Change it on schedule, every time. No exceptions. Second, let the engine cool before you shut it off. After hard driving, highway driving, or towing, idle for 2 to 3 minutes before you kill the ignition. That keeps oil circulating through the turbo bearing while it cools down. It takes 3 minutes. It can add years to your turbo's life. Third, check your oil level regularly. Not just at oil changes, every few weeks. If your engine is consuming oil, even a little, you need to know about it before it becomes a turbo failure. Fourth, if you're buying used, run the VIN. Go to the NHTSA recall database. It's free. It takes 2 minutes. It can tell you if that vehicle has open recalls that haven't been fixed. The link is in the description. Use it. These aren't complicated steps, but they are the difference between a turbocharged engine that lasts 200,000 miles and one that hands you a $6,000 repair bill at $80,000. The bottom line. So here's the real answer to the question everyone's asking in 2026. Are turbo engines reliable? Some of them, absolutely. The BMW B58 and Honda's 1.5-liter VTEC Turbo have earned that reputation with real data behind them. But turbo engines as a category are more complex, run hotter, and are far less forgiving of missed maintenance than a naturally aspirated engine. The brand name on the hood cannot protect you from an engine that was poorly engineered or poorly maintained. 18 car models just lost their Consumer Reports recommendation, and most of it traces back to turbo reliability issues. 4.3 million engines recalled since 2015. 232,000 Toyota and Lexus vehicles recalled in a single 60-day window. The manufacturers know this data exists. They're counting on you not looking it up. Now you have it. Before you buy your next car, or keep the one you've got, drop the model in the comments. Turbo or naturally aspirated? I want to know what you're driving. And if you enjoyed the content, smash that like button and subscribe for more auto content. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.